there will always be a place for people to be able to bond and connect with people.
Now, I'm not familiar with this singer, but it's more about the concept. There's a Canadian singer named Grimes. Do y'all know who that is?
Familiar?
Are you somewhat familiar
Of the name.
Of the name. I feel like I've heard the name. She's a 35-year-old songwriter. She's like a Canadian producer and performer. She had Yahoo News, she was doing an interview, and it says, "Feel free to use my voice without penalty." And this is as it relates to AI. He said, "I'll split 50% royalties on any successful AI-generated song that uses my voice." What do you guys think about the concept of this? Is this going to be, does this sound like a blip or a trend? Because we've talked about AI and how weird it is, how different it might be, but how it's going to get legs. I personally believe it's going to get legs and it's going to start getting out of hand. But I haven't heard anybody say, we can chop that paper up if it gets big enough.
As
I haven't heard
them just taking the money like it was when they.
Because she's basically saying, you can use it, but if it pop off, I need that 50%. I haven't heard this from an artist yet.
Look, I'm just thinking, like, if did you all hear? We might have played it last week. The 𝐻𝐿,
yeah.
But it was Rihanna.
I heard the Biggie joint over Nas. I heard that.
Look, if people can get licensing agreements put into place,
yeah.
And if you're just same way, if you're going to sample beats, you're going to sample my voice and flip it. That might be what just happens in the future. I don't want to see.
She might be onto something with this though.
Maybe I hope not.
This sounds lazy to me.
But it sounds lazy to you from what she said.
Because one of the things I'm thinking is, are people going to start using this? It's like, okay, I need a Drake type song. They create a Drake, and then they just rap what the AI creates for them, and they say they wrote it. And this person they know how to program a computer, but they don't know how to write lyrics.
Well, there has been things that have come out in the last, since we talked about this last, where apparently a person's voice is covered by copyright law. Okay. So you can't do that. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw I'm sure you did. It was kind of a big news story last week where it's the AI song with Drake popped off. It was I think it was on distribution platforms and stuff too or something, but it got removed. The labels got involved. Yeah, it was a major thing because the song sounded just like Drake, in my opinion. And I think The Weeknd was on it too.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about, Lon, what do you think about what she said about the possibility of getting that paper?
Do whatever you want.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's an interesting approach because it's most people want to keep their intellectual property,
right?
They want to profit off of it, et cetera, et cetera. But there is another approach with intellectual property, that she's doing with this, which is use my intellectual property. Maybe she gets more people to use it, so she gets more people to pay attention to her because of it. So she's approaching it from that angle, like, no, use me.
Right.
Use me as much as you want.
Exposure.
Give me, and she's going to get percentage points off of it too. I've seen this. I've literally seen this work before. I know there's a political commentator that I follow.
Oh yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about.
Hassan Piker, who does the same thing. Like you can use his content. Like he throws it out. That's, as long as you don't like make him look stupid, and stuff like that. There are limits and stuff. But it's an interesting idea to give your intellectual property in that aspect out there, and then you reap the benefits of it. I mean, we're talking about it right now.
We are. I mean, it caught my attention when I read the comment. I said, okay, this is different.
And when you think about it, look, I'll split 50% royalties on any AI generated song that uses my voice. She is doing zero work.
That's why I said I thought it's
zero.
I was about to ask why you said
she does lazy. All the AI does all of the work, and all you got to do is perform it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you didn't perform it in the first place. The AI did everything, and all you doing is, like, if it really pops off, the song pops up, all you got to do is go perform the song, and you already getting paid for it. I think it's lazy.
It's lazy, but, it's not.
It's smart?
It is smart.
To what he's saying?
It's smart, but at the same time, man, it's opening the door to.
I think the door is open. I think it's wide open.
You think it's wide open?
We will never be able to close it.
Yeah. No, it's that would be my argument. Is that I think it's wide open. I think we're going to see more and more stuff like this. Artists are already using AI to write songs. People are already using AI to come up with melodies. It's already a thing. I'm curious how the fad goes as the technology even grows even further.
It's going to advance.
You know what I mean? Like, so is this going to create something to where people, I don't know, Like, do people care more about it being a person? Like, what is the artist going to have to do to like verify that it is them, you know, in that aspect? And will the end user, will they care? We'll care. But will the next generation care?
The actual consumer more than likely will not, as long as it's jamming. And that's the part that I don't like about it.
Right.
I actually agree with you, B, on that, because I could see it being just that. They won't put too much thought into it, because if it's jamming, to his point, if it goes off, I mean, if it rings off, it rings off. It's less about how we got here and more about the record ringing off. I could definitely see that being the general, you know, consensus for sure.
Look,
especially if it pop off.
Look, man, there's apps right now where I can go in there, I can give my verification that you can use my voice. It can analyze. It can analyze your voice. It can analyze everybody's voice on here. And create our own podcast based upon whatever input we want. We don't have to do anything at all.
It's like
That's
that Joe
crazy,
Rogan virtual podcast.
Yeah, stuff's kind of funny.
That was wild.
But like, obviously there's a video aspect of it too. But I mean, it's going to get to the point to where like, I mean, we could generate video too, you know, so we're there. So then the question becomes, you know, like, it's going to be the artists and the creatives figuring out ways to hold on to this. And I think it's important. You know, like, I agree with you. It's that, you know, I care about the artist doing it. I don't really care about an AI doing this thing. But at the same time, most people probably won't. And that Drake song does sound good. So
the thing that's really gonna suck to me, man, is like, I don't think like the album cut. If everybody's doing like the
singles,
the introspective pieces, you're not gonna get that no more.
I think you will.
You think so?
I think you can chat GPT that up very easily.
You think so?
Absolutely. You can go on chat GPT and say, from the perspective of somebody who has this background and wants to, from the background of somebody who grew up in a traumatic background where the girlfriend broke up with you over this type of thing, can you write a song based upon this and this story? And it will write it for you. Like, yes, you can already do that. You can already do all that stuff. So
they can essentially give me an Eminem Kim.
Yes. Easy. A Stan? Yes, absolutely.
They could give us...
It's all in the prompting.
They could give us...
You prompt it.
This Can't Be Life from The Dynasty. With Scarface, Beans, and Jay-Z.
Yeah, I mean...
that would be so scary. You've seen how quickly this has evolved. You know, when Hollywood gets involved, that's when it's going to get real. Because remember when Napster hit, and like there was like, oh, the barn doors open, all these songs are just flying out of the, you know, the internet, and you know, but when it got to a point where movies,
that's when it became
all of a sudden it got real. It's like, okay, we got to find a way to monetize this and make it easier for people to buy our content as opposed to stealing it.
I think label driven, a lot of this stuff. I mean, the labels are the ones that are going to be, you know, kind of missing out, and they're the one that's going to push it like, oh, you know, this, you know, or they're going to figure out ways to monetize it.
So what does that do for the independent artists anymore? Like, are you going to get new artists anymore?
Good question. That's a good question.
Because people are just going to fall into that routine of they want to hear Drake's voice. So at this point, Drake, Jay, the people that have been grandfathered into the business now, they'll live forever because people will continue to lose that voice. But if I want to hear something new and fresh, like, how am I going to do that anymore?
I think there'll still be a place for new artists and new people. There will always be a place for people to be able to bond and connect with people. You know, like people that connect, we're talking about fan bases now. So like fan bases, people are more inclined to connect with you if you have real life experience and connection with them, right? And so through concerts and stuff like that, and putting out albums and what you do on social media, all that stuff will still matter. And some people will just be super purist, and when it comes to like, no, it needs to be this person, and you got to verify that it is, or what? Maybe there's going to be like a verified non-AI song or something. You know what I mean, or something like that.
You get a blue check if it's actually the person.
You pay $15 for that now.
I mean, but at the same time,
you might be right. I mean,
but I think the real connection with the person is never going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And the people that know you are always going to connect more with you. And so, like, Jay mentioned a few weeks ago about, you know, like, okay, maybe there's going to be an AI Drake album, but you can go see the real Drake in person.
And that's where the premium is going to come.
That's it. The premium will be, you know, or something.
Cost you $500
probably. Or
it's already about $500.
Yeah, it's going to be more than that.
But maybe that's the thing. You know, maybe it's something. Who knows? You know, we're all speculating right now. I don't know what it's going to look like. What I do know is we're going to have to. It's going to be evolving.
I could see it being what you talked about when you brought back Jay Moore's point of almost like two options. It's the, do I want to go put that bread up to go see Drake, or do I just want to rock with the, you know, generated version and just call it a day? That choice is gonna, if it keeps growing, that choice is definitely gonna be there.
Yeah,
and he's going to tax if. As it relates to the premium part, he's definitely going to tax.
They already look. When I see what it is to go to these festivals and just go to
a day,
I'm not going to any of this stuff. Once again, I'm old and I don't like being around that many people for free, but or to pay a premium. Because, like, you know, I'm literally at a point where, like, you got to pay to see me. I'm not leaving the house if there's not a check involved.
I heard that.
You know, like, as much as I love New Edition, I didn't go see New Edition when they were here because I had, you know, it was either go see New Edition or go get a check. I went to go get my check.
We saw their kids, though.
Oh, yeah, actually we did. We did. Teddy Riley and them kids was at the spot.
Wait. Oh, at y'all?
Yeah, they came through. Bought a couple bottles. Okay. It was all good. A lot of times now when you talk about seeing a concert, it's none of, like, it's funny when you see somebody post like a stub of a concert or a sporting event. It was like, I went to go last time the All-Star game was in Indiana. I think you could have gone down there for like $20.
Watch what it's going to be. Watch what it's going to be this time.
Not going to be $20 next year, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to make sure of that.